but we're seeing some unprecedented things this year that are kind of making our normal rules kind of go out the window.
Last week, Idaho Fish and Game and the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife put temporary closures on the harvest of wild adult fall Chinook salmon, a species that migrates from the Pacific Ocean up the Columbia River and into the Snake and its tributaries. The Chinook are a cold water species, so historically high water temperatures for this time of year have slowed their migration, said Chris Sullivan.
About 20% fewer fish than we would normally expect to reach Idaho are going to make it there this year under the current conditions.
Those temperatures have risen from the mid to upper 60s range that is normally comfortable for the salmon to the low to mid 70s in Fahrenheit.
And then once it gets to be about 70 degrees, like room temperature, that starts to become stressful. And lethal temperatures for salmon are about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So they'll just die in water that's, if they're in water that's as warm as, say, an indoor swimming pool for a long period of time.
As the temporary harvest ban continues, biologists and fishery managers will continue to monitor the waters and will revisit this decision on Friday. Here in Lewiston, anglers can often be seen out on the Clearwater and Snake Rivers at the Washington-Idaho border, where fishing is a popular pastime. But Kyle Mackey of the Idaho Wildlife Federation says that communities in smaller rural areas will be hit harder by fall Chinook declines.
You can almost feel the excitement in some of the towns when there's a bunch of fishing. There's more people on the water. There's people in town. Restaurants are full, and that would start to dwindle, and these small communities would, I guess, just be really hurt by no fishing.
Christopher Caudill from the University of Idaho said that he is even more worried for the spring Chinook, who have already seen declines over the years, but he said climate change is affecting all types of salmon.
That salmon population dynamics are really tied to climate. And so in years when the young salmon hit the ocean and conditions are relatively warm, survival is really low, and a couple of years later you have fewer salmon coming back.
For Chris Donnelly from the WDFW, this harvest ban is a sign of what could come for the whole region.
This is sort of the window to the future of what the Columbia River is going to be dealing with in terms of elevated water temperatures during fall migration periods in the future.